Hey, welcome back to Story Not Story.
Hey. This is Craig, married to the Fonz.
Yep.
And we are going to tell you some stories today, like we always do.
Yeah, if you're hearing this for the first time, then you'll be very confused. But if you're not, then you will be irritated by us explaining what this podcast is again.
It's just very simple. We're just two people who tell stories on the spot.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bedtime stories.
Bedtime stories.
Although many people are misusing our podcast and listening to it like on their commutes and stuff.
What? Guys.
What?
Guys, try not to listen any time except the specific time when you're going to bed.
It's designed for a reason.
We try, and you know what? Actually, never mind.
Listen to it whenever you want.
Whenever you want,
yeah,
please.
Just whenever you want.
Yeah, but eyes on the road. Eyes on the road, bucko.
If our
Can I call you bucko?
Probably some of them will say yes and some of them will say no.
If your name is bucko, let us know by sending us an email at storynotstorypodcast@gmail.com or Twitter at storiesinbed or facebook.com/storynotstory.
Yeah.
Or you could subscribe on Patreon at patreon.com/storynotstory and send us a message.
Letting us know if your name is Bucko.
Yes, or if we can call you Bucko.
Yeah. Even if your name isn't Bucko.
Or youtube.com/storynotstory where you can leave a comment.
I'm beginning to think that you're just promoting our social media.
No.
And not actually looking for responses about whether we can call people Bucko.
No, this is how I talk.
Okay. Well, should we tell these fine folks some bedtime stories?
Let's do it.
Okay. I went first last week, so it's your turn.
Okay.
You don't get to just make up
once upon a time...
No, not yet. I have to tell you what you're telling a story about.
Or a woman.
Is this your first time on the podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Well, our first suggestion this week comes from one of our Patreon patrons named Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Zach sent in a very long suggestion that was really funny. But
really detailed.
It was so many detailed parts to his suggestion that we were afraid that we wouldn't be able to remember all of them to tell the story. Mm-hmm. So we picked out a couple of our favorite parts, and we're going to tell a story, or Craig's going to tell a story based on those parts.
We simplified it immensely.
Immensely. It was a good original suggestion, though. Okay, so his suggestion, the parts we're going to use are...
Yeah.
I once knew a guy named, or possibly nicknamed, Brickie. Mm-hmm. He used to be the head chef at the most fine dining restaurant in East Philadelphia called Garbage. And then he moved on to a cruise ship permanently. He quits his life as a fine dining chef, moves on to a cruise ship.
Or does he quit his life as a fine dining chef?
Hey, maybe, who knows? It's not my story.
Mm-hmm.
It's your story.
Exactly.
Take it away.
Stop doing my job.
Once upon a time, Brickie.
Stop it.
Chef.
No. It's
things.
No, this is my story.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, there once, and still is, a man named Brickie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa, what a weird name. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
He lives on a cruise ship.
What?
Lives on it.
He lives on it?
Yes.
Like for evsies?
You may ask, how could a man like Brickie live on a cruise ship and afford it?
I wouldn't ask that because I don't know anything about him. Maybe he's super rich.
He's not.
Okay. Now I'm asking, how could he live on a cruise ship and afford it?
He does well enough, but it's not cheap.
Cruises are expensive.
Living on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Mm-hmm. He is a fine dining chef on the cruise ship.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Was he always a fine dining chef on the cruise ship?
No. See, he used to be the fine dining chef at a place called Garbage.
Oh, really?
In East Philadelphia.
Oh, East Philadelphia, that real place that actually exists?
No. But he... Garbage was a preeminent fine dining establishment.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It was.
Based on its name.
Yes.
Yeah. Those hipsters trendy, hipstery restaurant names these days.
Well, yeah, he thought it would get attention, which it did. Also, his favorite band is Garbage.
Sure.
Yeah.
So was it themed for the band Garbage?
No.
The restaurant? Okay.
No.
Just called that.
No, it was kind of it was a lot of seafood.
Okay.
Yeah. Like his specialty was scallops.
Ooh.
Yeah, he could do scallops like no other.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. You're
And-
saying scallops.
Yeah, and so, but the reason he doesn't work there anymore.
Uh-huh.
You see, one night, he was doing his prep, his food prep, before the restaurant opened in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't open all day. It was exclusive. It was a pretty exclusive
Sure.
place, you know.
Yeah.
The menu was different, like every day, like whatever he wanted.
Whoa.
It was
Seasonal stuff.
seasonal stuff.
Local ingredients.
It was like coursed out. Like he made a course, and like it was basically for like 3 different people. It was very small, like only like 3 tables,
Wow.
but it would be a full course, and it booked up. It was booked solid for months
Oh my goodness.
because he was good.
Yeah. Why would he leave this job?
Well, you see, one night, fella by the name of Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Bad.
Okay.
With 2 D's.
Doesn't really need a last name, probably.
Lou, yeah, it does, because
Okay.
he was a famous food critic.
Oh, yeah. Lou Bad.
Lou Bad.
Uh-huh.
And he was known for being very, very picky.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his favorite things to say, if he didn't like the food, was like he'd finish eating and he'd be like, "This is me," and then he'd leave.
This is me?
Like,
oh, 'cause
Bad.
Bad. Because
Yeah.
his last name is Bad.
Yeah,
I get it. That's a weird thing to say.
sure, it is.
Yeah.
He was a weird guy,
Yeah.
but he could make or break a restaurant.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Brickie was a little nervous, but he's served him before.
Right.
And it's partially why he's so successful, because he passed the test.
Mm-hmm.
But just so happens this night he planned this this tuna steak with a daikon salad.
Mm-hmm.
And a raspberry vinaigrette.
Okay.
And it was one of his best dishes. He's one he's most proud of.
Uh-huh.
His way of cooking a tuna steak, unbelievable.
I don't believe it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Unbelievable.
I don't even believe that I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. Anyway, so he goes to prep the tuna steak, and the freezer that had the tuna steak in it was broken.
No.
It was rank.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
So what he does is maybe he can trick him. Maybe he can make a steak that looks like a tuna steak, but it's not. Mm-hmm. So he
That's a bad idea.
goes into another freezer. He has to do something. He can't change the menu. It just Lou would he'd tear him apart.
Oh, man. Okay, well.
So he goes into another freezer, and he's like, "Well, what looks like tuna? What can I?" And he sees a salmon, and he's like, "Well, I guess I could make like a little salmon sort of thing."
Yeah, those aren't super interchangeable, but I can see what he's getting at.
But it's not gonna taste like tuna. But it doesn't work out. So what he does is he goes next door to there's another restaurant next door.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Recycling.
Recycling.
Yeah.
Okay.
They kind of...
Which came first?
Garbage came first.
Okay.
Just like in real life. Garbage came first.
Right.
Yeah. And he goes over to his pal, Woody, over at Recycling.
Mm-hmm.
And Woody is like, "Hey, Brickie." He's like, "Hey, Woody." And he says, "Do you have any extra tuna?" He's like, "Oh, what happened? You're like the tuna guy." And he's like, "Yeah, well, I had a freezer mishap." And he's like, "Well, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you some tuna." Oh. and he goes and gets the tuna.
Uh-huh.
It's not the best tuna though.
Oh no.
Recycling, it's sort of like, it's like used tuna, you know?
Used tuna?
It's like the extra tuna that wasn't used at other restaurants.
Oh no.
Yeah, because it's like a little older.
Right. That doesn't sound great.
No. It's fine. It's not terrible. But he takes the tuna, goes back over to his restaurant, prepares one just of his own to test it, and it's fine.
Not up to snuff?
It's not up to garbage standards.
Right.
So what's he gonna do? He has to up the quality of the tuna. So what does he do? He grabs some he oh no, I bumped the microphone, sorry. He takes the tuna. He thought maybe it needs to be tenderized a little more, so he hits it with a little hammer. Hits the tuna.
Okay.
With a little food hammer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't think you do that with tuna. I think it would just...
But it's old and it's kind of hard, so he's like, he tries.
Oh.
And it doesn't it works a little maybe, but not really.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, well, I need to add something to this that everyone likes. That just makes something great. First he thinks maybe crack or cocaine.
Sure, everyone likes that?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, if they don't know that that's what they're having, they might,
right.
You know.
Sure.
But then he's like, well, I don't do drugs, so I can't, and I know some of my employees might, but I probably shouldn't do that.
Probably not.
So then he thinks, well, what else does everyone like? Chocolate cake? It's probably not a good thing with tuna.
This guy's a fine dining chef?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is like an emergency. He has to use tuna, but this is the only tuna he can get.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the critic knows like what kind of meal he's getting. He knows the menu.
Oh no. It hasn't occurred to him to like use seasonings?
Oh, he did. He used all his usual seasonings. There's something wrong with it.
Okay.
People like ice cream. People like what's something that everyone likes? Nutella.
Oh.
I'm allergic. I'm allergic to hazelnuts.
Well, and also Nutella and tuna is not a combination that I would choose.
Right. So then he thinks,
what did he...
Star Wars. Then he thinks Star Wars.
That's
Everyone
not even
loves
a food.
Star Wars. This is an emergency.
He is breaking down.
Yeah, but he thinks maybe if he plays Star Wars on the wall, projects it on the wall.
That doesn't sound like a fine dining thing to do.
Wow. But then he thinks, well, not Star Wars because that's not on theme. Then he thinks Finding Nemo. So everyone likes Finding Nemo.
Because of the fish.
Yeah.
And then he'll serve fish.
Yeah, that's a problem, I guess.
What about, like, bacon or something?
Well...
Everybody likes bacon.
Putting bacon over top?
Yeah. Wrapping it in it or something.
Yeah. Then he tries to wrap it in bacon and play Finding Nemo on the wall. And so then he comes out with the meal, tuna wrapped in bacon, Finding Nemo, surprise. The surprise is Finding Nemo, but it's in the name.
Right.
It just makes it not really a surprise.
Right.
But he serves it. Lou comes in. He's like, "Oh, all right, where's my food?" He always goes.
Okay.
He's very bad.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah. And so he's like, "Sir, we have a nice tuna bacon." He's like, "Bacon? No, bacon? What? That wasn't part of the." He's like, "Well, hey, sometimes we like to jazz it up a little bit, you know?" And Finding Nemo. And he's like, "Oh, I love that movie. That's great.
Nice.
Interesting. Movie and meal." And so then he plays Finding Nemo, he brings it out, and Lou takes a bite, and he's like, "This bacon. It's really well prepared bacon." And he's chewing and chewing, and then, oh, tuna. Not good.
Oh, no. Oh, I was hoping he wouldn't notice, but he did.
Yeah. And then, but then he's like, wait, maybe it is good. I brushed my teeth an hour ago.
Well, that's bad form.
I probably shouldn't have.
That's bad form for a food reviewer.
Yeah, well, he had a garlic heavy lunch.
Sure.
He's like, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on the tuna. Maybe I will. And so, but then the projector stops working, and Finding Nemo is not, like, right at the third act.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't remember the movie that well. What happens in Finding Nemo?
Well, the dad eventually finds Nemo in that fish tank in a dentist's office.
Yeah.
And then gets him out. And then, but then they get caught in a fishing net at the end. And then everybody swims down. And then they're all saved. And then they're okay and stuff.
Okay. Well,
there's a lot more to it.
He never sees any of that.
Oh, no.
And he's like, show me a movie and it doesn't work, and your tuna might not be good. He flips the table, and he storms out, writes a bad review.
Oh, jeez.
And Brickie is ruined. So he gets a job on a cruise ship as a fine dining seafood chef. And one night, they run out of tuna.
Oh, it's like a repeat of his worst nightmare.
And it's what he does best. It's what he cooks best. And he peeks out at the floor, and there's several people that ordered tuna. One of them is Lou Bad at the table.
He's on the cruise?
He's on the cruise ship.
Is he there to review the cruise ship restaurant, or is he just there incidentally?
He's always reviewing. He can Yelp. He has a blog.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, is he there in an official capacity, or is he just on the cruise?
His life is his work.
You're really dodging my question here, but okay, moving on.
He's always on call. If he has a bad experience, he's going to let people know no matter what he's doing.
What if he has a good experience?
He might let people know then.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, so Lou Bad is out there.
Guess what? He ordered the tuna steak.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
either.
he did. Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yep.
Oh man.
So, panicked, Brickie runs to the edge of the boat with a fishing pole and tries to catch tuna.
Oh, that's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy is not good under pressure.
Well, I mean, what else is he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Send the servers out to be the bad guy. That's what they have to do all the time. Sorry, we're out of tuna.
Yeah, but
I messed up.
Yeah, but it's gonna ruin him again.
Sure. But he's on a cruise ship.
True. But it's going to ruin him.
Sure.
He'll get fired.
Yeah.
The Lou Bad will be like, again, Brickie let me down. Brickie McGee.
Okay.
That's his full name. Brickie McGee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he able to catch tuna off the side of the ship?
No, he catches a perch and a shoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of those could be food.
True, but it's not what Lou Bad ordered.
No, it is certainly not.
He does cook up the perch and eats it himself, and it's delicious.
Oh, no, he should have served it.
He should. He said, "Oh shoot, I should have served it, but I was hungry."
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does he do? He thinks, "I'll show Finding Nemo, and wrap the tuna steak in bacon."
Oh goodness, he doesn't have tuna.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll show Finding Nemo, and serve bacon, and I'll go catch another perch because that was so good. And he does, and he gets a perch, wraps it in bacon, and there happens to be a projector with a movie screen, and he serves Lou Bad, and he says, "Hey, sorry, remember me? Ha 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 ha." And Lou's like, "Yeah, I remember you. You're the man who, to this day, I still have not seen the rest of Finding Nemo."
Well, whose fault is that?
Even though he says he loved the movie earlier, but he just loved the clips of it that he saw.
Oh, man.
He never saw the whole movie.
Oh, man.
And I just can't see it because every time I try, I just taste that horrible tuna in my mouth. Mm-hmm. And so, well, I got news for you. This is a wonderful perch, the freshest you will find, just caught today. And I had one of my own earlier, and it's the best perch I've ever had. Mm-hmm. And here's Finding Nemo. Turns it on, and Lou's like, so surprised by Finding Nemo being turned on and by this perch and not his tuna that he ordered, he has a heart attack. Mm-hmm.
What? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I'm having a heart attack." See, he talked like that because he was unhealthy.
Sure.
And
eating
so,
a lot.
Yeah. And he has a heart attack and he dies.
Oh my goodness.
Right there.
So he can't even, he doesn't even taste the perch.
No, but right before he dies, he says, "Tell me, Brickie, did they find Nemo?" And he says, "Yes, they found Nemo." And then he dies.
And then he dies.
Yeah.
But he never really gets to see the end of the movie.
No, but he smiles and then he dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess he died happy.
Yep. And
your story is dark.
And Brickie takes the food and throws it away.
What?
What?
It's perfectly good food.
Well, he already bit into it a little bit.
So?
He throws it away from him and gives it to his employees.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a weird way to say that, I know.
Yeah.
But, and then just continues working on the cruise ship and has a good time.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This cruise ship restaurant seems terribly mismanaged because at the beginning of the shift, they should have known how much tuna they had available, how many portions, and made that clear. And it should have been communicated when they ran out of tuna so that nobody else could have ordered anymore.
Right.
And also, several people had ordered and been waiting on tuna, and he only made a meal for Lou. He didn't even worry about the other people who had ordered tuna.
They told the other people they were out of tuna. And then they reordered.
But then ultimately he made something else and gave it to Lou and didn't even try to pass it off as tuna. Why couldn't he just tell him that they were out of tuna?
Because it's Lou. He didn't try to pass it off as tuna.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If he was going to tell him eventually anyway that it wasn't tuna, then why not just circumvent the whole issue? And not startle the man into a heart attack.
He tried to do something special.
Okay. Well.
And he failed. I mean, you could say he succeeded.
Sure. I mean, he didn't get a bad review.
Right. Lou was also a serial killer. So.
Okay, so we don't feel bad.
No, we don't feel bad.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that was a minor point I left out.
Yeah, you left out that detail.
Yeah.
What's your story called?
It's called Brickie McGee. Brickie McGee and Bad Lou.
Okay.
Brickie McGee and Bad, Lou.
Bad, Lou.
Bad with 2 Ds. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, wonderful.
Thanks.
It left me with many questions.
It
answered several.
I feel like it was amazing.
It was amazing. It was great.
I mean, it was a serial killer story.
Right.
Who doesn't love a serial killer story?
It wasn't really a serial killer story. I don't think you can call it that because we didn't find out that one of the characters was a serial killer until literally the
Why are we
last
pointing
second.
this out? I mean, I feel like you questioning my storytelling methods?
No. Yes. No. A little bit. Just a smidge. Okay, well...
Hey, can you tell me a story?
I guess I could tell you a story.
This one comes from Gwen Schmeider.
Oh.
They would like... Hi, my name is Gwenyth, and I'm turning 13, and I'm not excited to, so can you tell me a story about a girl named Gwenyth that isn't excited for her 13th birthday, and she goes on a magical adventure?
All right. I can absolutely do that. I hope that... Well, I don't know. She didn't say when her birthday is, so happy birthday, Gwenyth, first of all. And I hope that turning 13 isn't as bad as you are making it out to be for whatever reason. I hope you have a good birthday. But, unfortunately, the character of today's story is a girl named Gwenyth. And it's coming up on her 13th birthday, and she is just not looking forward to it. You want to know why? You want to know why she's not looking forward to the birthday? She has a big test that day. She's got to go to school and take a big, important test.
What's the test on?
It's on, I don't know if you've ever heard of this subject. It's mathematics.
I've heard of it.
You have? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it's on mathematics.
Okay.
And she's worried about this test. Because it's kind of one of those pass-fail things. If she does really well, she's going to be fine in the class. If she does poorly, it's over.
So, just so the listener knows, when she went, she sliced her neck
with my finger. I gestured. Yeah.
And then you pulled out a gun.
Nope.
And
didn't do that. That part didn't happen.
Oh, no. Okay, that didn't happen.
Okay. So
and then she did a backflip.
That part obviously happened.
Yes.
I'm really good at backflips. So anyway, not only does Gwenyth have this huge test coming up on her 13th birthday, but she also, even before that, in the morning part, because the test is in her afternoon class, in the morning, she has to go to the dentist. And she hates the dentist.
Ah, the dentist.
Yeah.
I don't mind the dentist.
I like the dentist. Like, I actively enjoy it.
I mean, sometimes if they're really digging in there, it's not great.
It's not. But it can be unpleasant, but I'm not scared of the dentist or anything.
Fine.
It's fine. Yeah. But Gwenyth is not a fan.
That's
so
unfortunate.
She's got to go to the dentist on her birthday.
The classic 13th birthday dentist trip.
She's begging her parents to move her dentist appointment, and they were like, your tooth hygiene is very important. So, no.
Yeah, we are not having a daughter go through her 13th year with dirty teeth.
Right. And this can't possibly wait even one more day.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then her parents asked her what kind, if she wanted to have a party or anything for her birthday. And she was like, yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to go ice skating with all my friends that evening because, you know, I've got this test and I have to go to the dentist. So it'd be nice to have something to look forward to that night. And her parents were like, okay, awesome. Count on it. Invite all your friends. And so she did. But then her parents forgot to book the ice rink. So they can't go because they don't have a room.
Terrible.
I know.
What? Why? How would they? How?
I know it. So
Why would they forget that?
Because, well, they're jerks. They're just
jerks.
They're just jerks.
They busy?
No. Well, you know, one thing led to another, and her mom had it on her calendar to remind her to book it, but then when the day came, she was really busy, and so she was like, okay, well, I'll just do this
busy
tomorrow.
Doing what?
Just, you know, working and running errands and just all sorts of stuff piles up, you know? And she's like, okay, I'll call tomorrow, but she forgot to add it to her calendar for the next day, and then she just forgot. And by the time they realized, it was like a week before Gwenyth's birthday. Mm-hmm. And then they tried to call and get it booked, but it was all booked up, and they feel really, really bad about it. And they're going to make it up to her, but with like an even bigger party, but they didn't want to tell her. They wanted it to be a surprise because they feel so bad to make it up to her. And so Gwenyth doesn't know that there's a bigger surprise coming.
Oh. So,
anyway, so she finds out that they can't go to the ice rink after all. The only thing that she actually wanted to do on her crappy birthday. And she's really sad. So, you know, the morning comes, it's her 13th birthday, and her parents wake her up and make her a special breakfast and everything, and she's just kind of downtrodden, you know, because she knows, what does she have to look forward to that day?
What'd she have for breakfast?
Pancakes.
Oh.
With fruit cut up on top of them to look like a birthday clown.
What? That's insane. How'd they do that?
Well, they used, you know, like blueberries for eyes and like strawberry for big red nose and stuff, and then like whipped cream and for the what's that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a pretty good
it's
birthday.
a special breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she wasn't really fully able to enjoy it because she was just like, after this, I got to go to the dentist. And then I gotta go take this huge test that I'm really worried about. And then what? In the evening, nothing.
Are they doing like, what are they working on on math? Like what part? Like they're doing the Pythagorean theorem and.
You know, like, it's like you know, equations and.
That's math.
Formulas.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes some little addition, subtraction, multiplication, division.
Okay, yeah, you're just describing math. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, mathematics.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
So anyway, she's really stressed about all the equations that she has to complete.
Yeah. Sure.
And with nothing to look forward to in the evening. And her day goes just exactly as she expects it to. The dentist, she goes, gets her teeth cleaned. She have
cavities, or would they have to drill anything? They have
No, but she just really doesn't like the dentist anyway.
Okay.
So she just really hates the whole process of getting her teeth, like the scraping and stuff that they do. That's kind of uncomfortable.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then she goes to school. She goes to a couple classes, and then she takes that dreaded mathematics test. And boy, wouldn't you know it, she gets in there and there's a couple of important mathematics formulas that she just can't even recall. Even though she studied really hard. She studied formulas and equations ones
now, did she
of
just
hours.
study the words formula and the word equation?
That may have been where she went wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, it's not a vocab test about what a formula is or an equation is.
Well, there's questions about that on there too.
Okay. Well, glad she got those right.
Yeah.
Probably.
She leaves the test feeling kind of okay about it.
I'm kind of hoping for a magical adventure at some point.
Well, after school gets out,
Yeah.
see, she usually takes the bus home, but she's like, you know what? What do I have to go home for? I'm not in a hurry. There's nothing to look forward to. I'm just going to take the long way. I'm going to walk home and spend some time by myself, kind of clear my head.
Sure.
So she's walking along, and she, on the way home, she has to walk past this wooded area. And as she's walking by, she notices a break in the trees and a path that she never spotted before.
Interessante.
She's like, you know what? I'm gonna head into that there forest here for a second. Clear my head in the woods with the trees. You know? So she takes off down the little path, and it's very peaceful and serene, and kind of has this like magical energy in the air.
Okay. That's interesting.
So she follows this path into the middle of this little forest here, and she discovers a willow tree, a big, beautiful willow tree, which...
Like Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No, like Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't know what a willow tree is, it's got branches that come out and then long strands of beautiful leafy things that come down to the ground. And they're very magical looking trees. She's like, oh man, this tree is just like Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas, my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Very Disney themed. Is Finding Nemo Disney? Or is that just Pixar?
I have no idea.
I think it might be both.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, no. Yeah.
Although if Disney wants to sponsor us, that is totally fine by me. So she walks into the shaded grove that the willow tree is providing, and leans against the trunk and sits down, and is just kind of sitting there, and she kind of starts to cry a little bit because she's just sad. 13th birthday is a pretty big milestone, you know. You're a teenager finally, and that's pretty big, and nobody is really... It just doesn't feel as special as she thinks that it maybe should, you know? And so she's sitting there weeping, and she's got her eyes closed, and all of a sudden she feels something swipe across her face and wipe the tears away.
Creepy.
It could be, but it's such a magical, serene place that it doesn't feel that way.
Whoa.
But she does open her eyes with a start.
Yeah.
And she's like, what was that? And...
Wait, what was she like?
What was that?
One more time.
What was that?
Okay, yeah.
And she sees one of the branches in front of her face of the willow tree. One of the leafy strands. It had just wiped away her tears. And she's like, what? This tree is moving and doing stuff. So she stands up and she turns around. And wouldn't you know it, it is Grandmother Willow.
What? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor. Disney is not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. No.
Okay.
But that tree that was depicted in Pocahontas was based on a real tree.
Oh my goodness. It's a documentary?
It's a documentary.
I guess it is. I mean, it is based on a real story in general.
Sort of.
Yes.
Yeah, parts of it.
But the Grandma Willow part, I did not assume that was a real part of the story.
Well, let me tell you, it is.
Okay.
And she's like, holy butts. And Grandmother Willow...
Wait, what was she like?
Holy butts.
One more time.
Holy butts.
Okay, yeah.
And Grandmother Willow was like, I know this is probably freaking you out because I'm a tree and I'm talking to you. Don't be scared. And Gwenyth is like, I'm not scared. I've seen Pocahontas.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you have? Yeah, that was the tree in that story was based on me. And she's like, yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Because it looks exactly like you.
I thought this was Grandmother Willow, not Captain Obvious.
Oh, that's what she said too.
Yeah.
And then Grandmother Willow was like, no, yeah. You didn't.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I really did.
Uh-huh.
And Grandmother Willow was like, sit down here, child. Tell me what is bothering you. And she's like, all right. So she's like telling her about
dentist, math,
birthdays,
birthdays,
and the mathematics exam with all of the equations and formulas and addition and subtraction and multiplication and division.
Yeah.
Ugh. And Grandmother Willow is like, whoa, that does not sound like a great 13th birthday, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
And she's like, well, what can we do to make...
Is her parents going to wonder where she is?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, her parents are worried about where she is.
Yeah.
Because they had planned this surprise instead of the ice skating party that they couldn't do.
Yeah.
They had planned this surprise party at their house where all of her friends are waiting.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What?
And they were going to go to a trampoline park.
A trampoline park? That sounds like a great birthday.
I know. Yeah, but they didn't tell her.
Although I've been to a trampoline park. As an old man, it's exhausting.
Yeah, but they're all 13.
Sure, yeah.
So they probably still have the energy for it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, her parents are getting worried because she should be home by now and she's not.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the forest, Grandmother Willow is like, well, what can we do to make this birthday just as magical as you deserve for it to be? And she's like, I don't know. I mean, Pocahontas is my favorite movie. Can any of the cool stuff that happens in that movie happen to me? Like,
it's her favorite movie?
It's her favorite Disney movie.
Okay. Wow.
And
I'd say it's a lesser of the Disney movies, personally.
Well, Gwenyth doesn't think so.
I disagree. I think.
What's your favorite
Disney movie?
Mm-hmm. Like classic Disney movie.
So Pixar doesn't count?
I don't think so.
The Lion King.
Lion King's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably.
Beauty and the Beast.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has different opinions, and Gwenyth's is Pocahontas.
Wrong opinion, sure.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's like, Grandmother Willow's like, yeah, I think so. So she calls over her hummingbird and raccoon friends, and the raccoon braids Gwenyth's hair.
Okay.
Because that happens in the movie.
This would be really creepy. I would be creeped out by this.
They've got such dexterous little hands.
Seeing a raccoon, I would be out.
Really?
I would be gone.
They're so cute.
I mean, I'm not like afraid of them. Well, I mean, kind of. They do.
I would be kind of.
They do
afraid.
attack you. They could.
And they could have rabies and stuff.
Yeah, they're disease ridden.
Sure.
But she's okay with it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, she's 13. Her frontal cortex isn't fully developed. She doesn't have the best judgment.
Okay, sure.
So, and the hummingbird comes over and like lands on her hand and like chills out and stuff. That's pretty much all the hummingbird does in the movie. It's just around.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandmother Willow whips up a wind, and it
a willow wind, a wind willow.
Yeah, and pretty leaves fly around in magical ways, and somehow there's like sparkles mixed in and stuff. Ow. And then she does that part of the movie where she dips her willow frond into the lake and teaches about how ripples happen.
During the math test earlier, did Gwenyth like take any kind of drugs or anything?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
This really happened.
Okay.
So anyway, she hangs out with Grandmother Willow for a little while, and she's like, well, man, this has been the best birthday ever. I'm so glad that I met you. Can I come back and visit you? And Grandmother Willow's like, No.
Wow.
It's just I actually don't exist. This only happens on 13th birthdays.
Really?
Yep.
Well, she does exist then.
I exist, but only for this one day. Did you notice how this path just appeared in the forest here? And she's like, yeah, I do walk past here sometimes, and I never noticed it before. And she's like, yeah, because it wasn't your 13th birthday, but now it is. So after today, I won't be here anymore. And she's like, oh, that sucks, but I guess I could just watch Pocahontas. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That works.
Well,
I'd rather watch The Lion King, personally.
Sometimes I would watch The Lion King, too. But
okay, let's watch The Lion King later.
Okay.
All right.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's like, but I don't want The Lion King to happen in real life because lions they'll eat you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it was Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least that part of Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, Gwenyth is like, well, I gotta go because my parents are probably worried. It's been several hours and I should have been home by now.
Imagine they'd be calling the cops.
They're probably really worried, even though they forgot to schedule my birthday party and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So she leaves. She walks home and she gets to her house and there's police cars outside. And she's like, oh my goodness, what's happened? Are my parents okay? Mm-hmm. And she runs inside and she's like, her parents are sitting there and they look really worried. And she's like, are you guys okay? I saw the police cars outside and I got really worried about you. And they were like, the police cars are here for you, dummy. You didn't come home from school. Mm-hmm. What the heck happened? It's your birthday.
Dummy.
Dummy.
Yeah.
Yep. And the police are like, you probably shouldn't call your kid dummy, but like, yeah, that was actually really dumb of her. Yeah. So it's okay. We'll let it slide.
Okay.
And then the police leave. And they're like, hey, don't not come home from school anymore.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay.
What about the surprise party?
And her parents were like, well, we were throwing you a surprise party and all of your friends were here.
They're not there anymore?
But then you didn't come home and we got really worried. And then she's like, oh no.
Wait, what was she like?
Oh no.
One more time.
Oh no.
Okay.
And then her parents are like, just kidding, everybody's still here. They waited around because they were worried about you too. And now we're going to take you to the trampoline park, even though we're really upset because you didn't come home from school.
But that's fine.
But that's okay because it's your birthday.
Hooray! And then they all sing, from the day we arrive on the planet.
No.
And blinking,
no.
Step into the sun.
That's not what they sing, because it's Pocahontas Day.
There's more to see.
Oh, my goodness.
Than can ever be seen. More to do than can ever be done. Okay, that's enough.
Okay, that was really beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, anyway, they go to the trampoline park, and they eat cake, and they have pizza, and it's great. And then the next day... Gwenyth gets grounded for a week.
Oh.
Because she didn't come home from school and she scared the crap out of her parents.
That sucks.
Yeah, but they didn't do it on her birthday. And she got to go to the trampoline park. Mm-hmm. So it's okay.
All right.
Yeah. And she passed her mathematics test.
She passed it? Mm-hmm. She thought she wasn't doing well.
Well, she didn't get like an A+, but she got a B.
Which things did she get wrong?
Just some formulas and a couple of equations.
Really?
And
okay.
Some addition and subtraction, maybe a little multiplication and division.
Okay.
Just mathematics
very
stuff.
Specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. What's the name of your story?
Gwenyth's no good, very bad birthday, but with Pocahontas.
Gwenyth's no good, very bad birthday, but with Pocahontas.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
It's a lovely story.
Thank you so much.
You think you own
Nope.
whatever land you... This is the conclusion song.
Okay.
Like the closing credits. Land on.
Uh-huh.
The earth is just a dead thing you can claim.
Uh-huh.
But I know every rock and tree and creature. I know this song because they played this song before The Lion King on my tape that I had. As an advertisement for Pocahontas.
Right.
Has a life, has a spirit, has a name.
That's really beautiful.
The rainstorm.
No,
Okay.
I think we're done.
All right.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
That was fun. This has been brought to you by Disney.
Except not monetarily, because they're not sponsoring us.
Or not at all in any way.
But some could say, well, I think you could argue that our personalities were
shaped by Disney?
molded
Yeah.
by Disney.
A little bit.
Little bit.
I mean, mine was also molded by Star Wars and TV
I'm not saying
and cartoons, other cartoons.
by Disney.
And
it played a part in my formative years, okay, Craig?
Okay. This is the most contentious episode of Story Not Story yet, I think.
I just get really upset when you talk about Disney and you don't do it right.
Well, thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
Yes.
And we will be back next week with more stories, probably a continuation of...
Tumblin' Toby.
Maybe a conclusion, finally.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Who even knows?
That's it.
That's it. All right. Hey.
Hey.
Good night.
Good night.